Welcome to the Edinburg Housing Authority's Section 8 program. We are happy to serve you and your family. The following information will help you easily understand the way the Section 8 program works. We will answer frequently asked questions, and we will inform you of the opportunities and obligations that you will have as an Edinburg resident. I recently learned about the Section 8 program, but I still have some questions. For example, what is the Housing Choice Voucher Program? The Housing Choice Voucher Program is the federal government's major program for assisting very low-income families, the elderly, and the disabled to help them afford decent, safe, and sanitary housing in the private market. Rental assistance will be provided on behalf of the family or individual. Participants are able to find their own housing, including single-family homes, townhouses, and apartments that meet housing quality standard requirements. Great, but how do the vouchers work? Housing choice vouchers are administered locally by public housing authorities, also known as PHAs. PHAs receive federal funds from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to administer the voucher program. A family that is issued a voucher is responsible for finding a suitable housing unit of the family's choice where the owner agrees to rent under the program. Rental units must meet minimum standards of health and safety as determined by the PHA. The housing subsidy, also known as the housing assistance payment, is paid to the landlord directly by the PHA on behalf of the participating family. The family then pays the difference between the actual rent charged by the landlord and the amount subsidized by the program. The PHA calculates the maximum amount of housing assistance allowable. The family must pay 30% of its monthly adjusted gross income. Wow, that sounds excellent. How do I know if I meet the requirements? Eligibility for a housing voucher is determined by the PHA based on the total annual gross income and family size, and is limited to U.S. citizens and specified categories of non-citizens who have eligible immigration status. During the application process, the PHA will collect information on family income, assets, and family composition. The PHA will verify information with local agencies, employers, and bank, and will use the information to determine program eligibility and the amount of housing assistance payment. If the PHA determines that your family is eligible, the PHA will put your name on a waiting list unless it is able to assist you immediately. Once your name is reached on the waiting list, the PHA will contact you and issue to you a housing voucher. Waiting list? And how does that affect me? Since the demand for housing assistance often exceeds the limited resources available to HUD and the local housing agencies, long waiting periods are common. In fact, a PHA may close its waiting list when it has more families on the list than can be assisted in the near future. Well, I understand and I'm ready to apply. How do I submit my application? Great! Applying is very simple. Contact the PHA nearest you. Excellent! Let's say I already selected a unit, but I changed my mind. Can I relocate whenever I want to? No, the family must remain in the unit for 1 year. There is a 1-year lease to sign. That is why we recommend to be very careful when selecting the unit. In the Edinburg Housing Authority's website, you can find resources to help you make a wise selection of unit. In the website, you will find links to the schools in the city, universities, employment agencies, and links to the Texas Department of Public Safety Sex Offender Search. Also, a list of helping agencies and local housing authorities. That's a relief. Once I have completed my 1-year lease, can I relocate to another unit or another city and continue receiving housing assistance? A family's housing needs change over time with changes in family size, job locations, and for other reasons. The Housing Choice Voucher Program is designed to allow families to move without the loss of housing assistance. Moves are permissible as long as the family notifies the PHA ahead of time and terminates its existing lease within the lease provisions and finds acceptable alternate housing. Once the 1-year lease is complete, the family can relocate to another unit in town or another city in the United States. At this point, I understand that the PHA, the landlord, and me, the tenant, play an important role in the Housing Choice Voucher Program. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Each play an important role. The PHA administers the Housing Choice Voucher Program. The landlord offers a decent, safe, and sanitary unit. The tenant or family will receive subsidy for the unit and will be in compliance according to family obligations. What are my family obligations? Family obligations include supplying the PHA with requested information, reporting income, correct family size, and keeping the unit clean and in safe condition. Family must advise the PHA if moving out and or if evicted by landlord. Family must use the assisted unit for residence by the family. The unit must be the family's only residence. The family must not own the unit or have any conflict of interest. Any type of criminal behavior or drug-related activity by household member and or guest is not tolerated and is cause for termination of assistance. Finally, the family must not be assisted by more than one housing assistance program at the same time. The rules are easy to understand. Is there anything else that I need to know? Yes, let's talk about fraud. It is not worth committing fraud when receiving rental assistance. Consequences could be severe. If you commit fraud to obtain rental assistance from HUD, you could be evicted from your apartment or house, be required to repay all overpaid rental assistance, get fined up to $10,000, be imprisoned for up to 5 years, and be prohibited from receiving future assistance. You are committing fraud if you sign a form knowing that you provided false or misleading information. The information that you provide on the housing assistance application and recertification forms will be verified. The local housing agency, HUD, and the Office of the Inspector General will check on the income and assets information you provided with other federal, state, or local governments and with private agencies. Certifying false information is fraud. I understand that this is something I will never do. Now, I want to know more about the Section 8 program. Once determined eligible for Section 8, you will receive a voucher and instructions on how to use it. The PHA will give you the information to make the process a success. The voucher will allow you to find a unit within the city's jurisdiction. The PHA will guide you with the information on the process of seeking a unit. The PHA will also guide you with the process after you find a unit. Program rules, family obligations, and requirements of inspection will be explained when you receive your voucher. Most landlords will require an application fee. Make sure you are ready with information about you and personal references that you might need to provide on the application. Once you have found a unit, you give the landlord the form called Request for Tenancy Approval and return it to 910 South Sugar Road, Edinburg, Texas. All gathered information will be reviewed and given to the inspector in the Section 8 program. An inspection will be scheduled with the landlord, who must be available for inspection. If the unit requires repairs, the landlord will be given a letter with the items to repair. Once repairs are done, the landlord must request a second inspection. The PHA will not start contract if the unit has not passed inspection.